everyone, and welcome to Artist Podcast. I'm Anne. In this episode, we welcome the creator of Alchemical Soul. Miguel, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Anne. It's truly a pleasure to be here, and thank you for your kind introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm DCunhaMiguel, and I'm really happy to share this moment with all of you. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll enjoy our conversation.
Miguel, your journey is truly fascinating. I'm curious about the creation of Alchemical Soul. What led you to create a completely new genre instead of just following existing trends?
It's a question I've been asked many times. The truth is, I never wanted to follow trends. Alchemical Soul wasn't born from a marketing strategy. It was born from my own life, my experiences, my silence, and everything I felt, but couldn't express words alone. I realized that no existing genre could contain what I wanted to say. It is everything I felt but couldn't express. Instead of choosing one path, I brought them together. That's why I called it Alchemical Soul. My music transforms into light. I created it because nothing else felt true to me.
Before music became such an important part of your life, you spent years in architecture. How did that shape the artist you've become?
Architecture was my first language of creation. For almost 15 years, I worked as an architect and interior designer. In architecture, every line has a purpose. Architecture taught me much more than drawing plans. It taught me discipline, patience, and balance. Every sound has a reason to exist. In many ways, I never stopped being an architect. I simply changed the material I work with. Before, I built spaces where people could live. Today, through Alchemical Soul, I build emotional landscapes. So architecture didn't disappear from my life. It became the foundation of the artist I am today.
When I listen to your music, I have the feeling that every song comes from a very personal place. It doesn't sound like something written just to entertain people. It feels lived, almost like every melody carries a memory. So I'd like to ask you, what do you actually feel when you're creating your music? Where do those emotions come from? And what is the true source of inspiration behind Alchemical Soul?
When I create music, I don't feel like I'm writing songs. I feel like my soul is speaking to me. Every melody begins with an emotion.
Sometimes it's a memory that suddenly returns. Sometimes it's a silence that refuses to leave me.
You said sometimes the silence refuses to leave you. What exactly do you mean by that?
I'm going to start blaming silence every time I can't sleep.
So, tell me more.
For me, silence isn't simply the absence of sound. It's the place where emotions hide. A smell, a street, a melody, or a simple memory opens a door inside us.
That's the silence I was talking about. It never really leaves. It just waits patiently. I chose to transform mine into music.
I'd like to ask about Noise Inside Me. What does that song really mean to you? Is it about inner struggles or something even more personal? I have a feeling it's not a quiet story.
The title Noise Inside Me may sound contradictory because we usually associated noise with something loud. It's the voice we can only hear when everything around us becomes silent. When we're alone, that's when the real noise begins. For me, that noise is the voice of my soul. It's my soul trying to remind me who I truly am. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And because it whispers, most people never stop long enough to hear it. That's what the song means to me.
Listening to your music, I've noticed themes of darkness, shadows, and silence. What do they actually represent to you? Is it symbols of pain you've lived through? Is that intentional?
I don't see it that way. For me, darkness isn't about suffering anymore. It's a place of reflection. But life has a way of changing our perspective. Without darkness, we would never understand the value of light. One gives meaning to the other. Most people are afraid of the dark. They constantly search for light. They believe happiness only can see them. Without darkness, we would never understand the value of light. Some of the most important conversations I've ever had were in complete silence, alone, in the dark. That's where I found peace with myself. That's where I accepted my mistakes. That's why you'll find shadows in my songs. They represent the journey to know themselves. We don't become stronger by escaping our darkness. And maybe that's the message behind Alchemical Soul. We become stronger by walking through it and discovering that there was always a light inside us waiting to be found.
When you talk about darkness, you're not glorifying it. But there's another word that appears quite often, demons. I have the feeling that's not what you mean at all. So who are these demons you talk about? Are they fear, regret, or are they something even more personal?
When I talk about my demons, I don't mean monsters. And I don't mean evil. For me, my demons are the parts of myself that refuse to lie to me. I respect them because they force me to face reality. They don't promise me impossible dreams. They don't tell me that life is always fair. They simply show me the truth.
I choose to listen to my demons. They ask difficult questions. They expose my fears, my mistakes. And because of that, they help me grow. Without them, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't have created Alchemical Soul. I wouldn't have written the songs that people connect with. So no, I don't fear my demons. I respect them.
Listening to you today, I get the feeling that your music began with a melody. It began with your life. You've spoken about silence and the way those experiences shaped the person you are today. So I'd like to ask you something more personal. Was there a specific moment in music, a moment when you realized that creating music wasn't just something you enjoyed, but something needed?
I think life places certain people in our path for a reason. Some stay for a lifetime, and others stay just long enough to change us forever. There were moments in my life that left a mark on me. At one point, I lost sight of who I really was. 3 years ago, I made a difficult decision. It was because I needed to find myself again. Sometimes we put all our trust into one person. We believe they'll be there no matter what, and when that trust is broken, we lose a part of ourselves. That was one of the lowest moments of my life. Music became the only place where I didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to be strong with myself, a place where I could say everything I was unable to say out loud.
When people hear your songs, they often ask themselves whether they're listening to your personal story or to a character you've created. So tell me, are you writing about yourself?
I don't write about a character. Those emotions are real. Everything I lived through had a purpose. Alchemical Soul wasn't born from success. It was born from healing. I write about the man I've become.
Miguel, I'd like to ask you one last question. Where do you go from here? What are your dreams for the future? What do you hope to build? What do you hope they'll remember?
To be honest, I don't spend much time making plans for the future. I simply want to make the music I believe in without compromising who I am.
Miguel, thank you for sharing your story with us today. It was a conversation about silence and resilience. And to everyone who joined us, thank you for spending this time with us. Leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.